I've loved basketball ever since I was a little kid. I was always playing on a team in a basketball league, but the crazy thing was I was terrible in every game I played. I was short, asthmatic, and I always made a mistake whenever I caught the ball. But I'll get to the point. There was one day when I was 13 when the Chicago Bulls, basketball, and me low-key becoming a man all came together on one crazy day. With that being said, I got somebody I want y'all to meet. Okay, here we go. This story takes place when I was in the 8th grade and I was in this big basketball tournament. This was a Northern Illinois showdown where a bunch of city teams went head to head, and the grand prize was the final teams got to play before an actual Chicago Bulls game. We were one of the few that had mostly black players on the team, so we dominated. Well, my team dominated. I dominated the bench. But that bench took me all the way to the top. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but this big tournament took place in a very nice, affluent neighborhood rec center. And my teammates are from the streets, so while we had some downtime between games, we walked to the parking lot. I thought we were gonna chill and clear our minds before the big game. They saw a few cars with the windows down and they figured they would go in and see what they could get. I was sweating, looking left and right. The coaches were gone. I was like, oh no, if anyone sees us breaking into these cars, we're gonna be disqualified. But I was more scared of the players than I was getting disqualified, so I kept an eye out and kept my mouth shut. Plus, we didn't have the time or the equipment to take any hard stuff. I think they just took glove compartment change, maybe some sunglasses. But long story long, we won the tournament and got the chance to play at the Bulls game. I was so excited. This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. I'm gonna touch the court, touch actual game basketballs that Jordan probably touched. So what I did was, I went to the local trading card shop and I bought some cards to be autographed. I was super excited. I went to bed that night and I stared at the cards all night. I even got nice cases to hold them in after they were signed. I was set. So when the time came, me and my teammates got in the van. They were all tall and lanky and looked older than me. Especially one teammate in particular. We're gonna call him DeMarcus. He was in a gang. And he looked older than us because he was held back a year. DeMarcus came from a notorious family in my hometown, and this family was known for always being involved in criminal activity. The crazy thing was, all the family members looked exactly alike. It didn't matter if they were brother, sister, cousins, whatever. Their genes were super strong, and they all had one distinct facial feature. Let's say like a mole on the top of their lip. Him being older and stronger was probably what helped us win these games. It was about 9 of us, and the coach was driving, assistant coach in the passenger seat. I'm deep in the back of the van. We're all talking and listening to our CD players. I imagine some Cash Money, Eminem, and Nelly in the headphones. I had some Cisco or Michael Jackson playing. You know I'm an R&B cat. I come in super nerdy talking about, guys, I'm so excited for the game tonight. I even got these cards to get autographed by the players. I'm sitting next to DeMarcus. He says, oh, you got some cards, huh? That's dope. Let me check them out. I'm like, okay, here you go. He checks them out, mint condition, shiny and new. He hears I'm getting them autographed, He answers like only a hood dude could. He says, that's pretty tight, man. I'm gonna hold on to these for you. I was so confused. I said, what? I'm gonna hold on to him. And as soon as I could put my tongue to the roof of my mouth to say no, DeMarcus turns up on me. 0 to freaking 100. It goes, hey man, don't say a motherfucking else about these motherfucking cars. If you say anything about these cars, I'm gonna hit you dead in your chest and you ain't gonna do shit about it. These my cars now, bitch. Silence. Now mind you, these were rowdy, boisterous 13 and 14-year-olds. Well, 15 when you're talking about DeMarcus. As soon as DeMarcus went off, it was complete silence. You could hear a rat pissing on cotton. It was that quiet. It was like Mike Tyson had gotten upset in the van. You couldn't even breathe. The air was so tight in there. So I got overwhelmed. I said, oh, but those are my cards. And he said, say another thing else. I'm about to whoop your ass in this van. So tears start to well up. But I'm still confident to talk because there are 2 grown men, the coach and the assistant coach, in the front seats. And I'm thinking, of course, they won't let anything happen to me. Those 2 bastards didn't even turn around. They were probably just as scared of him as I was. They probably knew his gang history and his family, so they didn't turn around. So I'm just left to my own devices. And when I realized I was alone, then I really started crying. But you know, I might be scared. And I might be about to get knocked out. But I was more excited about that Bulls game than I was scared of him. So with my lips poked out and tears coming down, I said, I want my cards. I want my cards. I just kept repeating it over and over. And I tighten up because I feel like his fist is coming. And then, man, I'm just playing with you, man. I don't want them. Take your cards, man. And I'm just huffing and puffing. I am emotionally exhausted. DeMarcus nudges me talking about some, you mad? You mad, huh? And everyone kind of thawed out and things went back to normal. I didn't say nothing else for the rest of the ride. Just holding on to my cards. I am upset. Because everybody just saw me get punked in the back of the van and didn't nobody say nothing. I looked at the team different. I looked at the coaches different. But once we pulled up to the United Center and I saw that famous Jordan statue out front, I got back into the spirit and I was excited again. I got my little disposable camera and I was like, wow, I made it. And everything was good. The courts were clear, so we went out on the floor and I can say that I made a free throw shot on the Bulls court with an official NBA ball. Afterwards, I went over to the tunnel where the players were coming out of. And Rookie of the Year, Elton Brand, came through. He was the NBA #1 draft pick. The last dance with Michael Jordan and the Bulls had just ended like 2 years ago, so we were looking for somebody to help turn this team around, so it was dope to see him. And he took my card and he autographed it and handed it back to me. I was like, wow, this was all worthwhile. This is great. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers came through. Dude from the Cavs came over to us and he made eye contact with me like, you got a card for me to sign? I'll sign it for you. I turned my head like, man, I don't know you. That guy turned out to be a dude named Andre Miller. Not only did they beat the Bulls, but Andre was pretty much the player of the game. I figured that was his way of getting revenge for me not taking his autograph. But who knows? Well, that's my story. That's all I got. It's your boy, Greg Williams.